Hello class, I wanted to make a quick video just kind of introducing a Photoshop project. Something I want you to notice that I've got two files that I've created. One of these contains a lot of different SketchUp models that I've worked on in the past, okay? Um, and then the other one, let me minimize that. These are just materials that I found on the internet, different things like clouds, beach fronts, natural stone textures, sunrises, things of that nature, different terrain, like over here's a mountainside, here's a tree with some clouds. So what you need to do is you need to create two different folders, and we're going to begin working on Photoshop. So I basically want to demonstrate some basic things about Photoshop and try to basically start with one image and get it prepped to be able to put into an environment later on. So what I'm going to do next is launch Photoshop. Now, when you first launch Photoshop, just like most softwares, you got to pick a sheet size. So we'll let that load. Different things I've been working on, but I'm going to go create new, and you can go into photo, go to view all presets. I don't know, I'm going to look for this 10 by 8 landscape. I guess that'll do for me. Okay. So one other thing, real easy to bring an image into Photoshop. So I'm going to start off by finding these white cubes that I created. You're going to want to create some type of blank SketchUp file, and this white cube was a SketchUp file that I created specifically to be able to add textures to. So I'm simply going to drag that and drop it into Photoshop. So one thing I want you to notice, when it first comes in, you get the opportunity to do things like rotate it, scale it, okay? And you can always Control Z undo any of that, okay? But you can also move it around. Let's say I want this to be, I picked a sheet size that's kind of too big. Like, let's just say I want it to be the center of a focal point. So I'm going to right click and place. Okay, next, what I want to do, what I want you to notice too, is that I've got layers here. The background layer, well, that's going to be this white, the original sheet size. But white cubes, that was the picture that I brought in. So I'm going to begin modifying this, and we're going to learn some of the tools here. You always got to keep your eye on layers, okay? Now, something else I should mention real quick. You can change things like the opacity, like I can make this, lighter or darker, okay? Things like that. You can sharpen edges and things of that nature too with some of these filters that are available, okay? I don't want to mess around with that. We're going to get more into that here shortly. But next, let's say, I've got this surface area right here, and I kind of want to add a texture too, because like I said, this is a white cube. So this upper surface here, let's say I want to add some type of texture. Well, that's where this other folder where I have different textures comes into play. So let's say I want this natural stone. Again, I'm just going to drag it and drop it into the drawing. So let me maximize that again. Now here again, this is, you're able to move it at this point. And one of the things I like to use, you can grip these, you can kind of change things, but being that this is at some type of an angle, I like to use this distort, because what I'll do next is I'm going to start gripping things and expanding this up here, maybe even greater than the actual surface area. So, something I should have mentioned too, it brought it in as a layer. See that natural stone. So I'm gonna bring this up here and just kind of get it generally overlaid on top of that surface. Okay, so next I'm gonna go place. And this is kind of interesting, but I'm going to hide that layer. I'm going to go back to the white cubes layer. And what I want to do is there's this magic wand here. I'm going to use that magic wand and pick this surface area. So once that's been picked, then I go back to natural stone. Down here, not sure how to describe it, but it's a layer mask. So I'm going to add layer mask. And when I show that, it's going to show up onto this surface. And you can zoom in using the Alt key on the keyboard and the scroll wheel. So scroll up will zoom you in. So notice that it it took that surface area and it put that natural stone. So next I'm going to try to do this little rectangular area here. So I'm going to minimize this. With this, I want to try to stack stone. So here again, I drag it, drop it in. Okay, very good. So again, let me show you. It went into the layers here. It went into the layers here. So that's very important too. But I need to go back to the white cube and hide, I think I called it stack stone. Use that magic wand tool. It's going to pick up on this rectangular area. Kind of magic wand likes to do that. And then I'm going to go to stack stone, press mask, and then show that. Now, oh, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Let's see. Oh, I know what it is. I should have done something different. When I brought this in, notice I didn't cover it up. So let me let me get that back in here. You're going to want to make sure that surface area is covered. So again, I like to use that distort tool. I'm going to right click, distort, and just kind of, let me see where this corner is. Somewhere around here. Same thing over here, somewhere, I guess, over here. This one looks like somewhere around, I guess, here. And let's see where this one should probably go. Now, something else you can do while it's in here, you can go to layers and kind of mess around with like opacity, okay? It's going to make it lighter or darker for you. That'll actually allow you to see that rectangular area too. So in case you got to adjust things, you can kind of do that. Look at that. I wasn't really very parallel there, so I can kind of adjust things there. But at this point, I'm going to hide this and make sure I'm on a stack stone. Press the mask layer and then show it again. Hold on a second. Something went wrong. Okay. Oh, I know what went wrong. I got to go back to the white cube and use that magic wand. That's what's wrong. And then once I show that, then I got to delete this mask. If you need to delete a mask, you can delete one too. So make sure I'm on stack stone. I'm going to hide that layer. Hit mask and then show it. There it goes. Okay. So that's good for those two. Oh, I don't like the opacity. I can still change that. I can still change this layer, the mask layer, the actual thing here. So let me kind of ramp that up a little bit more. Okay, that looks a little sharper. And then we're going to get into different filters too eventually later on. But let's say I've got these windows here, and let me kind of zoom into one of them. I want to create like maybe a sunset or something like that, like a reflection. So I've got a photograph here, the sunrise. I'm going to drag and drop that. I don't really want, let me explain this photo. It's kind of a beach front or something of that nature. I don't really want all that. I just want the sun portion of it. So I'm going to kind of bring that down to here, I guess, and really scale this down a lot, because it comes in way too big. And yours might come in way too big too. So now that I've got it scalable, a little more scalable, I'm going to kind of move things around, maybe like that or so, okay? And don't forget you've got the distort. Now with the sun, I'm not sure you really need to distort angles, but I might do that anyhow, just in case. I'll give it an angle. Oh, let me change the opacity on it so that it's easier to see. So let me kind of, whoa, there's a little too much there. I can always add to it, but this allows me to kind of see, oh, that would look pretty good. I don't know, it's at a funny distorted angle, but I'm sort of happy with that. So next, let me go back to the white cubes layer and hide the sunrise layer. Make sure you're on a white cubes layer. Hit the magic wand. Okay, that's going to pick up this rectangular area. Then let me go back to the sunrise layer, hit mask, and then show that. And it shows up there. Alright, I'll do one more just to briefly demonstrate. I'm going to do this rectangular area. Again, this might be some type of window, and maybe this time I'm going to pick, I've got a, let's see what I got over here. I got different folders. Now, you should probably pick up different stuff. Maybe I could add this tree. It might be advisable. I could add maybe, I could add these clouds too, but I really don't want to do that. Let me add this part. I'm going to try to add some of that. Again, this is very hypothetical, and wow, it comes in really big. That's a high resolution picture, so immediately I want to get this down to workable size and kind of move it this way. Now I don't want the tree, I just kind of want part of these clouds, so let me zoom in. Let me change the opacity real quick so I can see what I'm doing. So maybe set it like that. Let me play with distort a little bit. I think we're going somewhere here. Let's see. Maybe distort this kind of like that or so. I don't know. Maybe stretch it out this way. That might look good right there. So here again, you're going to want to hide that layer temporarily. Go to the go to your base layer here. Hit the magic wand. Then go back to your layer. Add mask, and then show that, and it's going to show up like that. So that will get you going, and you're going to want to go all the way around your image and get everything kind of photo textured. Get everything photo textured.